The city of angels, Hollywood dreams, and eternal traffic. Los Angeles is more than just a geographical point on the California map. It's a pulsating lifestyle that is truly second to none. As the golden sun sinks into the Pacific and the neon lights of Sunset Boulevard flicker to life, you can feel the electric energy of a metropolis that never stands still. The year is 2026, and LA is reinventing itself once again. It is a city of extreme contrasts, where the glittering mansions of Bel Air meet the gritty urbanity of downtown. Here, tens of thousands of dreamers fight for their big break in the cafes of Silver Lake, while just a few miles away, global corporations shape the future of AI and aerospace. LA is a massive mosaic of over 100 nationalities, a place where you can ski in the San Gabriel Mountains in the morning and surf at Venice Beach in the afternoon. But behind the perfect Instagram facade of palm trees and luxury cars lies a fascinating history of pioneering spirit, relentless growth, and an unshakable belief in the impossible. In this video, we're diving deep, from the humble beginnings of a small Spanish settlement to the global powerhouse of today. Buckle up, we're exploring the real Los Angeles. As of 2026, Los Angeles has solidified its position as one of the most influential megacities in the world. With a population of around 3.9 million within the city limits, LA remains the undisputed second-largest city in the United States, surpassed only by New York City. However, the true scale only becomes apparent when looking at the entire metropolitan region, the greater Los Angeles area. Nearly 13 million people now live here in a massive urban web spanning 5 counties. In 2026, this enormous population density brings significant challenges, but also an unprecedented wave of modernization. With the upcoming 2028 Summer Olympics on the horizon, the city has undergone a massive transformation. The ambitious 28 by 28 project has reshaped the cityscape. New metro lines now connect neighborhoods that were previously only accessible via congested freeways, reachable. By 2026, Los Angeles is no longer just the city of cars. It has become a laboratory for urban mobility and sustainability. Despite the high cost of living, its appeal remains unbroken. As a global hub for technology, the Silicon Beach movement, and the still dominant entertainment industry, the city continues to attract talent from all over the world, all seeking the LA way of life, somewhere between the Pacific breeze and urban high speed. To understand the true soul of Los Angeles, we have to turn back the clock, long before the glitz of Hollywood and the skyscrapers of downtown. It all began on a historic day, September 4th, 1781. At that time, California was still a remote outpost of the Spanish colonial empire. The man with the vision for this place was the Spanish governor of Las Californias, Felipe de Nave. He recognized the potential of the fertile soil along the banks of a river the Spaniards had previously named Porciúncula. But de Nave didn't build the city alone. The real heroes of the founding hour were the so-called Pobladores, a group of 44 settlers consisting of 11 families who had been recruited from northern Mexico, specifically from Sonora and Sinaloa. What many people today don't realize is that these founding fathers and mothers were a reflection of incredible diversity. They weren't just a group of Spanish conquistadors, but a mix of indigenous peoples, people of African descent, and European settlers. This diversity is not a modern phenomenon of LA. It is literally in the DNA of the city's founding. The official name the settlement received at its birth was as grand as it was long: El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de los Ángeles del Río de Porciúncula. Translated, it means the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of the River Porciúncula. It's a name that lives on today in the simple global brand, LA. Life for these first 44 residents was harsh. They weren't adventurers, they were farmers. Their mission was clearly defined. They were to develop the region agriculturally, to supply the nearby military outposts, the presidios, and the missions with food. Around the central square, known today as the Old Plaza near Olvera Street, they built simple houses out of sun-dried mud bricks called adobes. None of these 11 families could have guessed back then that their humble village on the riverbank would one day become the foundation for one of the most powerful metropolises in human history. Over the centuries, these first 44 pioneers grew into a global city that would change the course of culture and technology for the entire planet. Why was Los Angeles founded at this exact spot? The primary goal of the Spanish crown was by no means the creation of a glittering metropolis, but rather pure strategic logistics. The settlement was intended to function as an agricultural supply hub. At a time when provisioning military outposts, the presidios, and religious missions in Alta California was extremely difficult, a reliable breadbasket was needed. The first settlers, the Pobladores, were therefore specifically chosen for their farming expertise. They were expected to raise livestock and grow grain to ensure the survival of the Spanish presence in the region. Population growth remained sluggish during the first few decades. From the original 44 pioneers in 1781, the numbers climbed only slowly. But in the late 19th century, everything changed overnight, thanks to two decisive catalysts: rails and black gold. The first major turning point was the connection to the Transcontinental Railroad network. When the Southern Pacific Railroad reached the city in 1876, followed by the Santa Fe Railroad in 1885, an unprecedented land boom began. Travel time from the East Coast was cut from months to just a few days, attracting thousands of fortune seekers. The second spark was the discovery of oil in 1892 by Edward Doheny and Charles Canfield. Right within the current city limits, LA was literally sitting on a sea of oil. This combination of infrastructure and natural resources caused the population to explode. While there were barely 11,000 people in 1880, by 1890, over 50,000 residents lived in the city. Within a single decade, Los Angeles had transformed from a sleepy outpost into a booming American metropolis, a growth spurt that laid the foundation for its later rise as a global city. To truly understand Los Angeles, you cannot view it as a single city. Rather, it is a vast collection of villages and towns that have grown together over time. While LA is politically divided into 15 council districts, the true soul of the city is reflected in its neighborhoods. Each has its own identity, its own architecture, and often even its own microclimate. Let's start in the pulsating center, downtown Los Angeles, or DTLA. For a long time, this district was considered deserted after business hours, but by 2026, the tide has completely turned. Today, DTLA is both the historic heart and the modern financial hub of the city. Here, architectural icons like Frank Gehry's shimmering silver Walt Disney Concert Hall meet ultra-modern museums like the Broad, which houses some of the world's most significant contemporary artworks. What's particularly exciting, thanks to massive investments in public spaces, downtown is now considered one of the most pedestrian-friendly neighborhoods in the entire region, a stark contrast to the city's otherwise car-heavy image. Heading northwest from there, you'll land in arguably the most famous neighborhood in the world, Hollywood. Even though the major movie studios have largely migrated to neighboring Burbank or the San Fernando Valley, Hollywood remains the symbolic global center of the entertainment industry. A stroll along the Walk of Fame is a must for every visitor, but the true magic lies in the Hollywood Hills. Here, under the watchful eye of the Hollywood sign, the mansions of the stars overlook the city, offering a view that is truly priceless at sunset. Moving west, we reach the ocean. Santa Monica is technically an independent city, but it is so tightly woven into the fabric of LA that the boundaries blur. Santa Monica represents the California dream. The legendary Santa Monica Pier with its Ferris wheel, wide sandy beaches, and the upscale shopping of the 3rd Street Promenade. It's the place where family friendliness meets a high-end lifestyle. Just a stone's throw to the south, the atmosphere changes abruptly as you step into Venice Beach. Venice is the wild, unconventional heart of LA. Founded by tobacco tycoon Abbot Kinney as a tribute to Venice, Italy, it is famous today for its bohemian charm. On the oceanfront walk boardwalk, street performers, fortune tellers, and skaters all mix together. Here, individuality is celebrated, loud, colorful, and absolutely authentic. In the middle of this urban jungle lies an enclave of pure luxury, Beverly Hills. Although it is geographically completely surrounded by Los Angeles, it is an independent city with its own police force and administration. Anyone strolling down Rodeo Drive will see the highest density of luxury cars and designer boutiques in the world. It is the global symbol of wealth, characterized by perfectly manicured lawns and the majestic palm-lined avenues known from countless movies. Finally, let's take a look at Silver Lake, which in 2026 has definitively cemented its status as the city's coolest neighborhood. Silver Lake is a sanctuary for hipsters, artists, and the creative elite. Around the reservoir, you'll find independent coffee roasters, alternative record stores, and innovative restaurants. It is the place where trends are born before they conquer the rest of the world. This is where LA shows its intellectual and laid-back side, far away from the glitz of the mainstream. Together, these neighborhoods form a mosaic that makes Los Angeles so unique. You can travel through 5 different worlds in a single day without ever truly leaving the city limits. Los Angeles in 2026 is a city in the midst of a radical transformation. Anyone who thinks LA is still just the dream factory for Hollywood movies is missing the massive shift happening right now. The city has long since evolved into a global epicenter for high technology and innovation. Along the coastline, in what's known as Silicon Beach, tech giants and thousands of startups have taken root. But the city's gaze is fixed even higher today. Has become the new hub for private space exploration. With companies like SpaceX in nearby Hawthorne and numerous aerospace centers, the Mars missions of tomorrow are being planned right here. At the same time, the city is experiencing an architectural and urban planning renaissance. Innovative urban design is at the top of the agenda in 2026. New mixed-use developments are popping up everywhere, combining living, working, etc., and leisure in one place, a bold attempt to break the dependence on cars. But truth be told, the challenges remain gargantuan. The notorious smog and chronically congested traffic on massive freeways like the I-405 are still part of daily life in 2026. While air quality has improved due to the massive electrification of the vehicle fleet, the bottleneck remains a lack of space. Furthermore, the city continues to struggle with a profound social divide and the homelessness crisis, which still shapes the streetscape in several areas. However, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon: the 2028 Summer Olympics. This upcoming major event is acting as a catalyst for infrastructure. Under the Vision 2028 initiative, billions are flowing into public transit. By 2026, numerous new metro lines are in operation, finally connecting LAX airport efficiently with downtown. The city is working at full speed to shed its image as the car capital and present itself as a modern, connected global metropolis. It is a race against time, but the energy with which LA is writing this new chapter is palpable everywhere. Today, the City of Angels is a laboratory for the future of urban humanity. Anyone visiting Los Angeles in 2026 is faced with a seemingly endless choice of experiences. To make sure you don't lose track during your trip, we've summarized the absolute must-sees that reflect the heart of the city. No trip to LA is complete without the ultimate landmark, the Hollywood sign. Originally erected in 1923 as a billboard for a real estate project called Hollywoodland, it is now the global symbol of fame and dreams. For the perfect photo, I recommend Lake Hollywood Park, but those seeking a real adventure should hike up Mount Lee Drive to enjoy the view over the Los Angeles basin from directly behind the giant letters. Just a stone's throw away lies the Griffith Observatory. It is not only an architectural masterpiece in Art Deco style, but also offers the most spectacular panoramic view of the entire metropolis, stretching from the Pacific to the peaks of the San Gabriel Mountains. Especially at sunset, when the city's sea of lights awakens, the atmosphere up here is magical and completely free to the public. For that classic California vibe, there's no way around the Santa Monica Pier. With its historic carousel, solar-powered Ferris wheel, and wide sandy beach, this place embodies the feeling of eternal summer. It is also the official endpoint of the legendary Route 66, a place full of history and energy. In 2026, culture enthusiasts will find their paradise at the Getty Center. Perched high above the Getty Center Drive, the museum impresses with its radiant white architecture made of Italian travertine and its beautifully landscaped gardens. The collection spans everything from European paintings to modern sculpture, and admission is free here as well. You only pay for parking. If you want to experience the magic of cinema firsthand, you have to visit Universal Studios Hollywood. It is the world's only combination of a real working movie studio and a premier theme park. The famous studio tour takes you directly through active film sets, while themed lands like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or the state-of-the-art Super Nintendo World, a major highlight in 2026, provide the ultimate adrenaline rush. Last but not least, take a trip downtown to the Broad. This contemporary art museum is a masterpiece in itself, with its honeycomb-like veil facade. Inside, works by giants like Jeff Koons and Jean-Michel Basquiat await. In the pulsating art scene of 2026, the Broad is considered the most important meeting point for aesthetes and trendsetters. Each of these destinations tells a different chapter of the story of this extraordinary city. Whether you come to California for the incomparable glamour of Hollywood, the endless Pacific beaches, or the complex history of the city's founders, Los Angeles never disappoints. It is a city that, in 2026, reinvents itself daily between its technological future and its deeply rooted traditions. LA challenges you, inspires you, and leaves an impression that you'll never forget. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the City of Angels, please give us a like and share your personal LA highlights in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our city guides to the most exciting metropolises in the world. Until next time, keep dreaming.